Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Cika Fadiana. I'm here to do a speaking segment about a topic Garut folklore, Tam Godog folklore. I'm doing here not alone, but with my group member. The group member is me, myself, Cika Fadiana, M. Abil Sarifuddin, and Genta Bagus Pratama. Let's begin.
Garut is a regency in the province of West Panjapa. In Garut turns out to have a pretty beautiful tourist attraction that are comfortable for you to visit in addition to having a very beautiful natural tourist. Garut also has several culture tourist attractions that are historical highlights in the past. One of them is the Tomb of Gadak. In this occasion, I will inform my friend about the history of Gadak's tomb. History of Gadak tomb in Garut tomb of Prabu Kian Santang. Gadak tomb is a tomb located on the slopes of Mount Karachak, precisely in the village of Lebak Agung, district Karangpawitan, Garut. This tomb is believed to be the tomb of Prabu Kian Santang, the son of Prabu Siliwangi from Pajajaran Kingdom. Information about the extension of Gadok's tombs as a Kiang Santang myth is contained in some old Sundan texts. Among them are Babat Gadok, Babat Pasundan, and Wawancan Prabu Kian Santang Aji. In the text it is said that Kiang Santang was the son of Prabu Siliwangi from Pajajaran Kingdom. After converting to Islam in Mecca, his name changed to Sanan Rahmat because after his death, buried in Gadak. This figure is also called Sunan Gadak. Now, Gadak's tomb is visited by many pilgrims. By some people, this tomb is very sacred because Kian Santang is often likened with the guardians who contributed in the spread of Islam on the island of Java. Those who came not only from the Sandus Tatar region but many also come from outside Java. Almost every time many people make pilgrims, especially in the months of Maulud. Prabu Kian Santang or Syekh Sunan Rahmat Suci is one of the sons of Pajajaran king named Prabu Siliwangi, from his mother named Dewi Kumalawangi. He has two brothers named Dewi Rara Santang and Walang Sungsang. Prabu Kian Santang was born in 1315 in Pajajaran, which is now Bogor City. At the age of 20 years, precisely in 1337 AD, Prabu Kian Santang was appointed as the 10th Bogor Dalam, which at time coincided with the first ceremony of the royal heirloom stick and the coronation of Prabu Munding Kawati, the eldest son of Prabu Susuk Tunggal, became the commander-in-chief of Pajajaran in memory of the sacred heaven of the coronations and the handover of Pajajaran heirloom stick. It was written by Prabu Susuk Tunggal on a stone now until now by the name of Bogo Slate. The history of Kodok Tube in Garut, Tube of Prabu Kian Santang. The event is most special event in the Pajajaran pledge and can be known by all of us hearts of the nation's history, especially in West Java. Prabu Kian Santang is a mighty Sinatria. No one can defeat his prowess since childhood until adulthood, that is 30 years old. Precisely in 34 AD, Prabu Kian Santang did know his own blood in the sense that no one has matched his powers and power in Java Island. After he months alone thinking, well, there is a dashing and powerful man who can match his power. Finally, Prabu Kian Santang begged his father, Prabu Siliwangi, to find an opponent who could match him. The father called the soldiers to show who and where there are dashing and powerful people who can match Prabu Kian Santang, but no one is capable of doing it. Suddenly came a grandfather who told that the person who can match the powers of Prabu Kian Santang was Sheikh Ali Apostate, who lived far away in the land of Mecca.
Then the old man said to Prabu Kian Santang, "If you want to meet with Sheikh Ali, must carry out two conditions. First, you must meet Medi first at the end of Kulon. Second, the name must be changed to Galantrang Setra or Galantrang Berani, Setra Bersih or Suci." After Prabu Kian Santang implemented the two conditions, he went to the Holy Land of Mecca in 1348. Arriving in Mecca, he met a man called Sheikh Ali, but Kian Santang did not know that the man was named Sheikh Ali. Prabu Kian Santang, whose name has been changed to Galantrang Setra, asked the man, "Do you know man whose name is Sheikh Ali?" The man replied that he knew. Could even take him to Sheikh Ali, please. Before leaving, the man first stuck his stick to the ground, which was unknown to Galantrang Setra. After walking a few tens of meters, Sheikh Ali said, "Oh, Galantrang Setra, my stick left in that place. Try to get it first." At first, Galantrang Setra did not want to, but Sheikh Ali Apostates said, "If you do not want to, of course we will not meet with Sheikh Ali." Galantrang Setra was forced to return to the meeting place. To get a stick, upon arrival, Galantrang Setra pulled out the stick with his hand, thought it would be easy to remove the stick. It turned out that the stick cannot be removed. In fact, not the slightest change. Once again, he tried to pull it out, but the stick remained unchanged. The third time, Galantrang Setra pulled the stick with all his strength with batin energy. But instead of being uprooted, even the legs of Galantrangsetra Ambals entered the ground, and blood came out from all over Galantrangsetra body. Sheikh Ali Apostate knew about the incident, so he came. After Sheikh Ali Apostates arrived, the staff was immediately removed while saying Bismillah and to create sentence. The staff was left up, and at the same time the blood was also lost from the body of Galantrangsetra. Galantrangsetra wondered why the blood coming out of the body suddenly disappeared and came back healthy. In her, he asked, "Is it because of the kalimah that the dead old man said? If you were true by any chance, I would have asked for the signs of the kalimah. But the man did not answer. The reason because Galantrangsetra has not entered Islam. Then they both set out for Mecca. After arriving in Mecca, on the street someone asked the man as Sheikh Ali Apostate, "Why are you Ali coming home late?" Galantrangsetra was surprised to hear the name Ali. It turned out that the man he had just now was named Sheikh Ali Apostate. After Prabu Kian Santang left Mecca to return to Java or Pajajaran, he did not know the direction of destination. Then he thought to return to the land of Mecca again. Then Prabu Kian Santang returned with the intention to meet Sheikh Ali and intend to convert Islam. In 1348, Prabu Kian Santang converted to Islam. He stayed for 20 days while studying the teaching of Islam. Then he returned to Java or Pajajaran to see his father Prabu Siliwangi and his brother. Upon arrival in Pajajaran and meeting his father, he recounted his experience while living in the land of Mecca as well as his meeting with Sheikh Ali. At the end of the story, he tells that he has converted to Islam and intends to invite his father to convert to Islam. Prabu Siliwangi was shocked when he heard the story. His son, who invited him to convert to Islam, the father could believe, but his invitation was rejected. In 1355, Prabu Kian Santang departed back to the land of Mecca. The position of Kedalaman was temporarily handed over to Galuh Pakuan, who at the time was held by Prabu Anggalang. Prabu Kian Santang lived in Mecca for 7 years and studied Islamic teaching specialists, feeling that they had done enough to pursue the teaching of Islam. Then he returned to Pajajaran in 1362. He intended to spread the teaching of Islam in Java. Back to Pajajaran, accompanied by Arab merchants who had the intention to trade in Pajajaran while helping Prabu Kian Santang spread Islam. Upon arrival in Pajajaran, Prabu Kian Santang immediately spread Islam among the community because the teaching of Islam is fifth row, bring the salvation of the world and the here and the hereafter. The public accepts with open arms. Then Prabu Kian Santang intended to spread to the teaching of Islam in the Keraton Pajajaran. Thank you.
After Prabu Siliwangi got the news that his son Prabu Kian Santang had returned to Pajajaran and would face him, Prabu Siliwangi, who had the dignity of the king, had mind then to convert religion to Islam. I would better leave the place of Pajajaran place. Before leaving the place, Prabu Siliwangi turned the beautiful Keraton Pajajaran into a wilderness. Seeing this, Prabu Kian Santang pursued his father. Several times, Prabu Siliwangi was chased and confronted by Prabu Kian Santang, which immediately urged his father and his followers to Islam. But Prabu Siliwangi still refused. In fact, he ran to the South Garut area to one of the beach. Prabu Kian Santang confronted him in the sea of Kidul Garut, but Prabu Siliwangi still did not want change the religion to Islam. With regret, Prabu Kian Santang was forced to stem the way his father ran. Prabu Siliwangi entered the cave, which is now called Pamengpe Cave. Prabu Kian Santang has tried to make his father to Islam, but Allah did not give a pray or hidayah taufik to Prabu Siliwangi. Prabu Kian Santang returned to Pajajaran. Then he rebuilt the kingdom while spreading religion Islam to the corner of the region, assisted by Arab merchants while trading. However, the royal place created by Prabu Siliwangi was not changed, with the intention in the end the day posterity or young generation will know that it's the relic of history of his ancestor. Now, the location of the palace is called Bogor Botanical Gardens. In 137 to AD, Prabu Kian Santang spread Islam in Galuh Pakuan, and he himself circumcised his people who convert and changed to Islam. In 1400 AD, Prabu Kian Santang was appointed king of Pajajaran in place of Prabu Mending-Kawati or Prabu Anapakemuan. But Prabu Kian Santang soon became king because he had inspired exiled or called Uzlah, moving from a crowded place to a quiet place. In that Uzlah, he was asked to make benefit to be close to God, in order to be holy and achieve kema'rifatan. To him asked to choose the place of tafakur from the three places, namely Mount Seremai, Mount Tasikmalaya, or Mount Suci Garut. It is time for Uzlah to be carried by a chest containing the heirloom land. The chest is to be assigned or to the place of benefit later. When it arrives at one place, the chest godog or changed, then that is where he tafakur or meditation, and the name Kian Santang must be replaced with Sunan Rohmat. Before Uzlah, Kian Santang handed over the throne to the Prabu Panatayuda, the only son of Prabu Mending-Kawati. After completing the handover of the royal throne with Prabu Panatayuda, Prabu Kian Santang left the Pajajaran. The first destination is Mount Siremai. Gater and the chest were kept on the ground, but the chest was not the Godog alias change. Prabu Kian Santang then left go to Mount Tasikmaya. There was also chest unchanged. Finally, Prabu Kian Santang decided to go the sacred mountain of the Garut. Upon arrival at the sacred mountain Garut, the chest was stored on the ground, suddenly changed. With the Godog of the chest, it means a clue to Prabu Kian Santang in that place. He must pray to get closer to God. The place now called the Tomb of Godog. Prabu Kian Santang has been on business for 19 years. Once established mosque called Keramat Godog Heritage Mosque, which is located from the Tomb of Godog about 1 kilometer. Prabu Kian Santang renamed to the Syekh Sunan Rahmat Suci, and his place became Godog Keramat. He died in 1419 AD or AD 49 Hijriah. Syekh Sunan Rahmat Suci died in the place which until now was named the Tomb of Sunan Rahmat Suci or Keramat Godog Tomb. Sorry if there are any mistake of the presentation about speaking. I hope in the future will be better. Thanks you for watching.